Winter squash may be my absolute favorite fruit to grow. Or at least squash. The lush green foliage stands guard all season long as it focuses its energy on this long maturing, plump, sweet, tender squash that is eaten throughout the cooler months of the year, the fall and winter. And how do you know if it's done? It takes so long to grow. It's a bit unassuming throughout the summer. But if you were to take your thumbnail and press it against the skin of the fruit, if you're not able to puncture it, that means the squash has begun curing on the vine. It's converting its starches into sugars to be able to store long term during the winter. Another way to tell is if you look at the stem here, and it takes on a slightly more brown color compared to the vine of the plant, and it develops a corky-like texture to it. That's how we know that this fruit is looking to go into storage and to be eaten in a few months from now. I'll take my pruners and I'll cut just a couple inches from the fruit itself, a nice clean solid cut. And here we have one of our most beautiful prized possessions this time of year. This variety is called Autumn Frost. It's a butternut squash variety, but it's shaped like a pumpkin. And just as the name suggests, Autumn Frost, it develops this natural frost-like patina that is both ornamental and just delicious. This fruit has such a sweet, tender flesh after you cure it to be eaten a couple months from now. Curing your winter squash allows the skin to thicken, the flesh to become more sweet, and so it can stay longer in storage throughout the winter months, even into next spring. But not all winter squash have to be cured. For example, we grow a Japanese kabocha style winter squash here called black futsu. The skin is so thin and delicate that it's edible, and there's no peeling required, and there's also no curing required. And can you imagine peeling this bad boy? Whew, wham bam, no thank you ma'am. Those deep grooves would make quite a laborious task trying to peel this. But the trade-off with not having to cure it is it doesn't store as long in the off season. So you have choices between a sweeter, longer storage squash or a more fresh eating winter squash that you don't need to peel, easier in the kitchen. Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I dubiously do. Oh, I will do, sir. I will do it. I will doobie do. Now, while harvesting, if you come across any squash that haven't fully ripened yet, that are still green, you could chance it. You can cut them off the plant and allow them to cure too. And most often than not, the color will change to that quintessential orange color. The skin might be a bit more tender. It won't store as long, but it should provide some edible harvest in a couple months. You might as well try. And at the very least, it's a beautiful autumnal decoration. Is it not? And look at this little bad boy. I didn't know I was growing little fancy hats. It's amazing. You start off planning your season one way and you end up being a visual merchandiser selling fancy European hats in Northern California. It's amazing where life takes us, really. It's truly amazing. Dare I say a mystery? A mystery only nature and God can know, can provide for us. Okay. Oh, mamma mia! That's a big old spicy boy. That's a beautiful squash. Look at that. Beautiful. No, you didn't. You did. Winter squash. How do it know? How do it know? Now that is quite a good harvest for having only 20 or so plants. It's good to look at the variety descriptions when you're deciding on which winter squash to grow, for example, here, because this autumn frost variety is known to be a heavy cropper, a heavy producer, while utilizing little space in the beds. So if you're stretched for space, which most of us are, you can maximize it by choosing the right varieties. And it just so happens that this autumn frost is a really delicious gourmet flavored variety too. So we can have our cake and eat it too. It's the best of all worlds. I'm laying them out to allow them to sun cure for the next 5 to 7 days. The sun will help dry out and tighten the skin. The rocks in the back here will create ambient heat to expedite that process. And after that, we will move them into a longer term curing stage location where we will store them in a warm, ambient light environment, nice and dry, for about 4 to 6 weeks. Patience pays off in the curing process because during that stage, the skin will seal in all the flesh, so they'll store a lot longer into the winter and even early spring. And their flavor will become so sweet, so savory. And it'll be such a treat to eat in the winter while not much else can provide us with that flavor that will be coming out fresh out of the fields during that time of year. I'll weigh this harvest, but it's looking really promising. These autumn frost are known to store, to remain viable to eat for up to 4 to 6 months. Last year I grew them and I had some that I was enjoying the following May from a previous October harvest. That's more than half a year. That's amazing. And when you grow it at home, when you grow it yourself, I mean, obviously it tastes better. Most often than not, it's more nutrient dense, but it tends to last longer. The shelf life is longer. The varieties that we can choose to grow here aren't prized for transportation or shipping, harvesting it early. We can let them grow to full maturity and enjoy the fruits of our labor for longer compared to the store-bought produce. Should I? I think I will.